I'm spending the night in this 1-star rated tent from Go Outdoors. Tim says it's not even a tent. Tamsin says it's far too small and probably big enough for 2 Oompa Loompas. And Sandra says it lets in the rain and it's not weatherproof at all. So tonight we'll see if there's any truth to these reviews, and tomorrow I'll leave my own review and hopefully it'll be a 5-star one. Right, let's get set up. Well, it's a case of instant regret. You can get this tent in green, which I've got it in, and red and blue, I think. I went for the green because I'm obviously a stealth wild camper, but already all the midges and little flies and things are really attracted to this colour, so I'm wishing I'd got the red one. Proper stealth guy lines on it as well. Well, Tim, it's definitely a tent. So that's review number 1 debunked, I guess. Next up we've got Tamsin, who said it was basically tiny. Now the advertised size of this tent is 220 long by 110 wide by 90 high. So let's check it. Length is about 218, so that's not far off. And then the width of the tent is 108, so you're losing another 2 centimeters there. And then height is 80 centimeters. So it is smaller than advertised, but according to Google, the average height of an Oompa Loompa is 4 feet. So there's plenty of space in there for a couple of them. Now don't get me wrong, it's never a 2-person tent, but what tents are that are advertised as 2-person? There is some rain forecast overnight tonight. It's the back end of Storm Kathleen, so there's plenty of wind around as well. There is some rain coming now, so I'm going to get the rest of my stuff in, and then I'll let you have a look at all the other stuff that I bought. It's already getting a bit toasty in here. Plenty of flies as well. I have just noticed though there is some mesh over these vents, so I'm going to go and get those open and get some airflow in here. I am fully expecting this tent to leak as well, or at least get pretty bad condensation. So I've bought myself a Tom Shoe bivy bag just to put around my sleeping bag as a precautionary measure. I've not opened it yet, but it looks like it's made from this sort of ripstop material. It's really lightweight at 190 grams. It's tiny as well, so if this is decent, it's probably something that I'll take on every camp. And it only cost me about £21, I think, from AliExpress. Just pumping my mat up so we can see if that fits in. It does fit. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze with my pack, so I'll look at how I can make that a bit smaller and fit into that corner a little bit better. I bought the down camper box sleeping bag as well, and that's another reason I wanted to make sure that I've got some sort of bivvy or some sort of protection for it, because you don't want to be getting down wet. So I've got the bag inside the bivvy. It's got like a reflective silver foil inside it, so that should give you a tiny little bit of extra warmth. There's a draw cord around the top as well, and then there's this zip that goes up the middle, so that should make it a bit easier to get in and out of than those sort of solid bivy bags like the Alp Kit Hunker. One good thing here is I'm down a little bit of a dip and the wind's coming from that direction, so it looks like it's going straight above where I am. Probably a good thing in this tent, isn't it? Now you're probably wondering why I've bought and come out in what is essentially a toy pop-up tent. Well, if you look into wild camping, especially on YouTube and social media, it's easy to become obsessed with gear and forget that camping is meant to be fun. And that's all this is tonight, just something a little bit different and a little bit of fun. Now obviously when anybody goes out, it's important that you make sure that you leave no trace and that you stay safe. But other than that, just get out whenever you can, wherever you can, with whatever gear you've got, and enjoy yourself. I haven't even bothered with the stove or anything tonight because it forecast a lot of rain. It's obviously sunny now, sod's law, but it forecast rain this afternoon, the evening and most of the night. So I've just bought some sandwiches basically and a bit of a packed lunch like I'm on a school trip. So I've just switched my sleep mat to like a diagonal setup, just give me a little bit more space at each end and give me more space in this far corner. Yeah, my pack's in that side now. And then I've got space in this other corner for my boots. So obviously I don't want them getting wet. Alright, a little bit of a sit rep. I've been in a tent for about an hour in some lightish rain. And there is a couple of places it's starting to come in already. And they're both around where they've stitched the labels on, I think. So this label's wet through. But I'm just going to try and leave that scrunched up a bit and see if it has any more water coming in. And then the other label here has got water coming through. I've mopped that bit up as best I can. And then there was some coming through on this corner. I don't know if you'll see on camera, but my sleep mat's wet in the corner. And it's probably me sort of manhandling the mat, but it's popped off here on these, I don't know what you call them, little rivet things. Hopefully that won't affect the performance of the mat because it is right in the corner. But I hope that's not the start of all the others starting to pop away. But the rain's just started again. It's only light. I've got a bit more pooling down here. So other than my sleep mat popping and the tent leaking, I'm having a great night so far. I think, looking at it, it's leaking through just here. And I think it's because this pole is higher up than the seam. So I've just shoved the pole a bit further underneath. I might see if I can get a stick or something to put underneath that seam to raise it up a bit. And it's a similar story on this corner, so that's where it's coming through before onto the sleep mat. Again, I'll get something to put underneath so that water runs away from the tent. It's all fun and games, isn't it? Here comes the rain again. Hopefully it'll stay out now. I've adjusted those sills around the side. So Sandra, it looks like you were right about the weatherproofing of this tent. I've just checked though, now the rain stopped and there's been no extra water coming in. So I'm going to get myself into this bivy bag shortly and get some kip. I will see you in the morning where you'll get to see me try and put this tent back in its bag. These are pretty notorious for packing down and putting back into the bag that they come in. So you've got that to look forward to, and I'll see you in the morning. Morning. I've basically been rained on inside the tent. So much condensation in there. Well, it's either condensation or the rain's eventually soaked through the tent. So that was dripping down on me, so I decided to get up and get the hell out of there. So no surprises at all really. It is a pretty crap tent, but I have had some fun testing it out overnight. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.